Illinois Board of Review for today, June 4th, 2024. Several preliminary matters before we get to the list of cases today. One, this is a formal hearing, and so I just appeal to every appellant that you should treat this as if it were a formal hearing in the courthouse, which means no eating, no drinking, no sleeping, no reclining in your easy chair. Please dress appropriately, no driving. If you are in your vehicle, please pull over and stop in a safe place. If you continue to drive, we will not hear your case. Also, we would advise you that these matters are being formally recorded by a court reporter and the system itself so that we can create a record. So I'm appealing to everyone just to be patient, allow each individual to complete their statements before you jump in with something you need to say to reply. I guarantee you, everyone will be given an opportunity to represent their issue. So please do not talk over the other individual. Also, we will hear from the law department that will give us a list of all matters that have been resolved. Some of them will be noted as moot or moot complied. So please pay close attention to the list as it's read, your address and or your name. And so that if it's noted as moot or moot complied, your matter is resolved for today. You don't need to stay to the end of the hearing. If you need further explanation as to the distinction between a moot or moot compliant matter, please call the administrator's office and someone there will explain it to you. Please do not break in as we're trying to hear the other cases. We have a very long list today, and we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to have their matter heard and resolved in some fashion. So thank you very much. The board itself and the other panelists will introduce themselves, after which we will hear from the law department. Again, I'm Kenneth Woodson, board chair.
Ralph Pincus, board member.
Steve Pettit, board member.
Roger S. Tennant, senior board member.
Beverly Penn, board member.
Ken Washington, board member.
Thank you.
Sure, board counsel.
Board administrator.
Thank you very much. I stepped on Mr. McSherry's statement. I apologize.
All right.
Okay. All right, then who do we have from the law department who will give us the list of matters resolved?
Me, Lee Bagelman for the city of Philadelphia.
Afternoon, Mr. Bagelman. What do you have for us?
Good afternoon, members of the board. I'll read today's list of moots. I think afterward I'll have some colleagues with some other matters to address, but starting with case number 1 on the list, appeal number ending in 2486 concerning 2231 West Dauphin Street, appellant Tracy Smith. That is moot.
Moot, thank you.
The same for case number 2 on the list, appeal number ending in 2487, also concerning 2231 West Dauphin Street with Tracy Smith as the appellant. That is also moot.
Thank you.
Moving to case number 12 on the list, appeal number ending 2572 concerning 6429 Grays Avenue. That is moot.
Moot, thank you.
Number 13 on the list, case number ending in 2630. Address is 504 South 49th Street. Appellant Carlene Burrell McCrae. That is moot complied.
Moot complied, thank you.
Case number 16 on the list, appeal number ending in 2681. Address is 2151 South 22nd Street. Appellant is Adam Ismail. That is moot.
Moot, thank you.
Next is case number 19 on the list, appeal number ending 2727 concerning 3712 to 68 Sepviva Street, Castor Lofts LLC. That is moot complied.
Moot complied, thank you.
Next is case number 24 on the list, appeal number ending 2760, 2861 North Marston Street. Appellant is Arlene Henry. That is moot.
Moot, thank you.
Next is case number 27, appeal number ending 2773 concerning 3636 Academy Road. Appellant is Bruce Harcum. That is moot.
Moot, thank you.
Next is case number 29 on the list, appeal number ending 2776 concerning 2713 South 78th Street. Appellant is Madeline Scarcelli. That is moot.
Moot, thank you.
Next is number 34 on the list, appeal number ending 2805 concerning 1523 West Girard Avenue. Appellant is 1521 Girard LP. That is moot complied.
Comply. Thank you.
Next is case number 43 on the list. Appeal number ending 2846 concerning 5602 Spruce Street. Appellant is an Elias Tay. That is moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Next is case number 44. Appeal number ending 2861 concerning 2623 North Napa Street. Appellant is Markeva Corey McCoy. That is moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Next is case number 48 on the list. Appeal number ending 2918. Address is 4324 Higbee Street. Appellant is Catherine Garcia, and that is moot.
Moot. Thank you.
I have one more moot to read. Is case number 63 on the list. Appeal number ending 1210. Address is 313 South 10th Street. Appellant's Jonathan Martin. That is moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Those are the list of moots and moot complied, but my colleagues have some other matters.
Okay. As per our existing procedures, use the raise hand sign and I'll call on you to put your matters on the record. Mr. Michael Rulo.
Good afternoon, board members. Michael Rulo, RULLO, on behalf of the city. The first matter I'd like to direct your attention to is appeal ending 002728 9200 Bluegrass Road, appellant Fountain Point Condominium Association.
Okay, what number is that on that list?
Apologies, that's number 20.
20? Okay, thank you.
There was a continuance request submitted by someone who identified themselves as the new president of the condo association. I wrote back and indicated that there is counsel of record in that matter, Mr. Glenn Ross. It's unclear to me if they are present, Mr. Ross is present here today or not. I did attempt to contact him previously.
Did you get a response from the appellant or this individual?
I did not. So I had only contacted, since they're represented by an attorney, I'd only contacted the attorney. I did not receive a response to my email from last week from the attorney.
All right,
Okay.
y'all can hear. Yeah, yeah.
Is Mr. Glenn Ross present?
All right.
Glenn Ross
So we are now, right?
or anyone else present representing the interests of 9200 Bluegrass Road? Anyone present representing the interests of 9200 Bluegrass Road?
That would be me, Mark Chalupa, President, Fountain Point.
Okay, and Mr. Shalupa, the problem here is that we have an attorney listed as your counsel. Are you still engaged with Mr. Ross as your lawyer?
I just found out I have an attorney yesterday and I'm in contact with him 2 days ago.
Okay,
I
you have,
just been newly appointed as president, so I
Okay.
just asked for a continuance.
okay, you don't have standing to do that because it's a corporate entity. You have to have a lawyer represent your interests before this board.
Right.
So, Mr. Rulo, given the nature of this thing, we probably ought to continue this matter unless you have a different position here.
No, I had already said that I understood, given the circumstances, that this would need to be continued to obtain clarification on the council issue, which we now have, and because it does require counsel. So I won't oppose the continuance request in this circumstance.
Okay, all right. We're going to continue this matter. Mr. Kaluka, if you would also, when you communicate in the future, make sure that your lawyer is also included. If you're going to continue to retain him or whomever you retain as your counsel, because of your corporate status, you have to have an attorney represent your interests before the board. So the record would note that this matter for 2728 9200 Bluegrass Road, Fountain Point Condominium Association has been continued for a future date. Okay.
I thank you for your mercy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Take care.
Mr. Rulo, anything else, Mr. Rulo?
Yes, well, an additional matter is number 36 on the list, appeal ending 002822, 1115 Dufour Street, appellant Josephine Barone, represented by William McLaughlin. We had previously submitted a joint continuance request. We believe due to some changed circumstances that the case is likely moot now and just want to confirm that via an inspection. Just wanted to confirm whether or not that continuance request has been granted.
Yes, we reviewed that in executive session and granted the request.
That is my final item. I would actually just request if on number 6, appeal ending 002512, the appellants are Gemreldi Canella and an Ismail Cabrera, if it was possible to be put in a breakout room with them.
Okay, is anyone present representing the interests of 22113 North 21st Street? Anyone present? North?
Yes.
We are here.
Okay, are you available to go in a breakout room with Mr. Rulo? You'd like to
Yes.
discuss your matter before the case is called.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Wade, would you give them the breakout room, please?
Just did.
Thank
Okay,
you, board
thank you.
members.
Okay. All right, thank you. Alrighty, Mr. Jeffrey Cohen.
Good afternoon, members of the board.
Afternoon.
Actually, I'm pleased to say numbers 50 through 58 on today's list, and I'll read the appeal numbers later, have been resolved and withdrawn by the appellants.
Okay,
The
so,
appellants being EB 4200 LLC and SG 4200 LLC through their attorney, Michael Mattioni.
okay, so we should note them as withdrawn?
That's correct.
Okay.
Do you need me to read the appeal numbers into the record?
Yes, the appeal numbers all referencing 4200 Chester Avenue.
That's correct.
Okay.
Starting with number 50, HA 2023 004971. And all the others begin the same. The second is 4972, 4973, 4974, 4975, 4976, 4977, 4978, and number 58 on today's list is 4979.
Thank you very much. The record would
Thank you.
indicate that all noted as withdrawn.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Begelman? Yeah,
Yes, I have an request for a continuance due to inspector unavailability concerning case number 26 on the list. Appeal
Yes.
number ending 2769 5249 D Street.
okay. Is anyone present representing the interests of 5249 D Street, Jean Polynice? Oh, okay. Jean Polynice, you're muted, sir. Can you unmute yourself? Mr. Wake, maybe you can help unmute him.
I'm sending them from.
Okay. Mr. Begelman, have you had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Polynice and explain things?
I have not, but I'm happy to in a breakout room.
Yeah, that may be the better approach here. He's having difficulty unmuting. Let's do this. Mr. Wake, would you offer a breakout room for him
Yep.
and Mr. Begelman, and see if that would be a way to sort of provide some support, assistance to him while he's trying to figure this out?
Great.
Okay, and we'll come back to the record at some later point during the hearing, Mr. Begelman, and discuss the continuance. Okay.
That's great. Thank you.
All right. Alrighty. Let's see here. Mr. Will Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a couple of matters where either continuances or agreements were already submitted to the board that I'd like to confirm. First is case number 33 on the list, appellant Shannon Frank, represented by Isaac Slepner, appeal number ending in 2796.
Okay.
An agreement with a city affirmed with a 90-day stay of enforcement disposition was sent into board administration. I wanted to confirm that that's been received and processed.
It has been received, so we just noted it for the record, 90-day stay. Thank you.
Okay, great. Next is case number 47 on the list, appeal number ending in 2911, appellant Renee Kobatry, represented by Jonathan Grode. That is a city affirmed with a 30-day stay of enforcement settlement. I wanted to make sure that was received by the board as well.
Yes, that was received.
Okay, great. Next I have, this actually has not been sent into the board yet. This is case number 60 on the list. Appeal number appeal number ending in 1365, appellant Ajay Wilson. Her counsel is here today. Mr. Lasana, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, good afternoon, board members. This is Attorney Payon Lasana on behalf of appellant Ajay Wilson.
Okay, sir, would you
Relating to-
mind spelling your last name, please?
Last name Lassanah.
Okay, thank you.
You
Now,
welcome.
This is, sorry for interrupting.
Yes, and what's the settlement or agreement, Mr.
So
Fernandez?
this case involves violations issued for construction work occurring that the city has alleged required permits. I spoke with Mr. Lasana earlier. He had initially indicated that he was considering requesting a continuance. I came to an agreement with him whereby I would join him in the request for a continuance. And in exchange, his client would agree to produce an engineer's report regarding the work that occurred prior to the next hearing so that the department could review it and make any adjustments to the case file they may determine are necessary.
Okay, so we should note this a joint request for continuance.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Lasana, is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor, that is my understanding.
Okay, thank you very much. You were noted as a joint request for continuance, and we'll reschedule the hearing. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good afternoon. Okay,
Mr.
Ms.
Lasana.
anything else, Mr. Fernandez?
Yes, two other matters. First, number 62 on the list, appeal number ending in 1245. Appellant is Shri Sai Siddai Spruce LLC, represented by Michael Phillips. Mr. Phillips submitted a continuance request earlier, unopposed by the city. I didn't know if it had been reviewed by the board yet.
We did review it. We wanted to hear from the city directly. And so there's no opposition to this request? This is the
Correct.
second time, I believe.
Yeah, we're not opposed to the request. I only came into this recently. A prior attorney who had worked on this matter agreed to the continuance. However, based on their representations, the appellant is working diligently in their attempt to legalize the streetery at issue. And I believe they're set to submit a new application or a revised application for the streetery license or one of the prerequisites soon.
Okay, so we should set this out for several months then.
Not necessarily. I wouldn't quite agree with several months, but I wouldn't be opposed to 60 or even 90 days. There are a lot of complications with these license applications, but this appellant has been attempting to legalize the streetery for some time. And I hope at least that they're near the end of the process.
Okay, is Mr. Phillips present?
Yes, I am, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Mr. Phillips, is that your understanding of where we are?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I think 60 days would more than suffice at this
Okay.
point.
So
I have
the reg-
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
If the legalization involves a city ordinance and city council is going on summer recess, then it wouldn't be, the ordinance wouldn't be considered until September.
Yes, Board Member Pincus, this actually is not a streetery. It's a sidewalk license that is already, this section of Broad Street does not require council approval. So there would be sidewalk licenses that are in the process for the street that will not require further council approval, just Streets Department and Art Commission.
And I apologize for mischaracterizing the appeal. I was mixing it up with one of my other streetery appeals. I have a couple.
Okay, so in this note, 60 days should be sufficient then for continuance. Okay, thank you. The record reflecting continuance granted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the
Okay.
board.
All righty, Mr. Fernandez, and anything else?
Yes, and then as a last matter, I have case number 64 on the list. Appeal number ending in 1189. Appellant Tuscan Realty of Pennsylvania LLC, represented by Augusta O'Neill. That continuance was sent into the board, I think some time ago before I was assigned to this case. I believe it was already approved, but since
Yes.
we're in the record, okay, confirming as much. Okay, that's all I have for today.
That matter has been, the continuance was granted.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have
Okay.
for this time.
Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. Okay, Ms. Michelle Reinhardt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon. I have 5 matters to
Okay,
record. The first is case number 5 on the hearing list, appeal ending 2495 regarding 1725 Bainbridge Street, owned by 1517 North 33rd Street LLC, represented by attorney Natalie Clash Thorney. Appellant requested a continuance that the city does not oppose because council has a conflict at this time.
okay. Well, just one thing I want to clarify though, who's the official appellant here? Is it, because I have 1725 Bainbridge LLC. You just indicated a different entity.
Let me look at the appeal real quick. I was reading off of the hearing list. It is, you're right, 1725 Bainbridge LLC.
Okay, and so is anyone here from Castorni's office? Okay, anyone present?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I am here from Ms. Clastorni's office on.
And your name?
Jared Klein.
Okay, and so in fact, this is a joint request for continuance?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay, all right, thank you. We'll note it as continued.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next
Okay.
case is number 17. It is appeal ending 2683 regarding 390 West Sedgley Avenue. Appellant is Lee Ching Lin. This was also a request for continuance by the appellant. She indicated that she did not receive notice until Friday, I guess, of the hearing, and that she had a conflict, but the city does not oppose the request, but we need additional information. I'm not sure if you read from the appeal itself, but appellant states that she is the daughter of the property owner, and the notice of violation that she attached to the appeal is for the business that operates out of that property. So I was requesting clarification who it is that she is trying to file the appeal for.
Okay, so the party noted in the violation, you have not communicated with that individual.
So I exchanged emails with her, but she never provided that information to me, and I was looking for that information to put it on the record. I honestly, so that we don't have to have another continuance at the next possible hearing if it's.
Okay, is anyone present today representing the interests of 390 West Sedgley Avenue? Because we noted in executive session as a standing issue. And so that's what needs to be resolved. Okay, so what we will do is continue this matter, allow you time to resolve the standing matter.
I don't know that I'm not able to resolve that matter because I don't have the information provided from the appellant.
I'm not sure you would have, well, I'm not sure who would be able to provide that other than the information that comes to the board. You should have what came to us as well.
Right, I believe that the appellant needs to provide that information.
Okay,
Specifically, a copy of the.
Well, it's easy to resolve. If the appellant isn't present when we reschedule it, we will dispose of it at that time.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Thank you. Everyone is responsible for his or her own appeal.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Ms. Reinhardt, I think between now and whenever it's next listed, it would be incumbent on you to reach out one more time to this individual who's contacted you and try to clarify this issue. If that person doesn't reply, fine, but you ought to make some effort to contact, I guess it's Ms. Lynn, and try to get her to explain the situation. If she fails, then at the next hearing, we'll rule upon it.
Yeah.
Okay, I would just like to put on the record, I have made a number of attempts already, and she has not responded to any of my multiple requests.
Well, are you in agreement to continue it today, or do you want to take a different action, different approach?
So I'm unopposed today, but at the next hearing,
Okay,
I would be against
understood.
the continuance for any of these reasons that are.
Okay, we will to put it to you
outstanding.
this way, unless there's a really, really, really convincing reason to continue it one additional time, we will dispose of it at the next hearing.
Thank you.
Okay,
The
All
chair,
right.
just real quick, do
Yes,
she
sir.
have standing?
we don't know, and that's what one of the issues that has to be resolved before we hear it again. And since no one's present to answer the question, and council has indicated she's okay with the continuance, we've granted that request.
All right, thank you.
Okay, all right, let's move on to Mr. Christopher Johnson.
I still have additional.
Oh, you do?
matters
Oh,
to put
my
on.
apologies. Ms. Reinhardt? Yes.
Thank you. The next one is case number 22, appeal ending 2755 regarding 5921 Upland Way. Appellant Michelle Graham. This is a city request for a continuance due to inspector unavailability.
Okay, is anyone present, Ms. Graham, or anyone present representing the 5921 Upland Way? Anyone present? Okay, no one's responding, so we will grant your request for continuance.
Hello.
Is someone speaking?
Yes, this is
Uh,
Inspector Jones, and I was supposed to sit in for Inspector Gonzalez on the 5921 Upland Way.
Yes, we just continued that matter, so you should be, I believe, you excused for this case. I don't know if you have others, but that
Okay.
matter is resolved. Okay.
All right.
All right, Ms. Reinhardt.
The next one is case number 46 on the list. This is appeal ending 002881 regarding 33rd and Market Street, appellant Yoon Han. This case is settled and a settlement agreement was sent to the board's administration earlier today.
Okay, give us the highlights so that we can put it on the record.
This was a vending violation, which was affirmed by agreement with a fine reduced to $150.
$150 fine. Okay, thank you. All ready?
And the final matter is number 59, appeal ending 1464 regarding 6002 Master Street, appellant Core Estates Group LLC. This case was also settled. This was marked city affirmed with a $1,000 fine, and it was also forwarded to board's administration as well.
It's like our chairman is frozen. Is that possible? Mr. Woodson, can you hear me?
I'll bring him right back in. We'll be back in a minute.
Mr. Wade, should we endeavor to proceed, or is Mr.
I thought I just brought him back in. He was just on. He's on now. I'll ask him to unmute.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, my apologies, everyone. My system just went completely crazy for a moment, to use a scientific term. So my apologies. So how much did we accomplish in my absence?
I think
We-
you were on Mr. Johnson.
Okay. Alrighty. Ms. Reinhardt, you had completed your list of properties, correct? At matters.
I did.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Johnson, since your name came up, we will call on you next then. Thank you.
Good afternoon, distinguished members of the board. I would like to call the board's attention to number 25 on today's list, Appeal HA 2023-002765 with regard to 817 South 8th Street. Appeal of Beach Doe. And there's an attorney who represents that
That's me.
individual, Mr. Stern. I know Mr. Stern reached out to me yesterday, saying that his client is both deaf and requires a Vietnamese interpreter. Does that mean they require a Vietnamese as well as a sign language interpreter?
Now, this is Attorney Doug Stern for the record. How I've been doing it, I have a.
Mr. Stern, if you
person-
could stop moving while you're speaking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm in the courthouse just pacing.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I've been doing it with an interpreter, but what he does is we sort of write it down. And then he just interprets through writing. Because he's better at writing.
Okay.
There might be sign language, but I have him. My problem is I couldn't find him today. If I had him today, I could have somebody present that could help translate.
Okay, we can have to use a professional translator. So what we will do, Mr. Johnson and Mr. Stearns, if the two of you could work out what level of support is required, then let Mr. Wade know. We'll see what we can do to accommodate that. Okay.
Yes.
We need to do it more proactively, not on the fly. So in fact, your client's interests are protected, and at the same time, we're able to move through the hearing as quickly as possible.
No, I agree. I thought we would address the code violations. I need to speak with, like I said, the inspectors or whoever's involved.
So we'll
continue.
continue.
That it gets complied by the next listing, but either way, there's a need for a Vietnamese interpreter.
Yes.
Okay. We need a Vietnamese interpreter, and somehow we also need to overcome the issue of sign language. Okay.
I'll be able to figure that out and be more specific, and I can notify the
We'll
board.
contact the board.
Okay, thank you. We'll note that and we'll continue it for today. All right,
And I'll
thank you.
contact you separate, Mr. Johnson, to go over this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, I'd like to draw the board's attention number 40 on today's list, Appeal HA 2023-002832 with regard to 2204 West Erie Avenue, the appeal of Nessor Holdings LLC. The city is going to rescind that violation, which will make the appeal moot.
Moot, okay.
The notice was defective, so I believe they're going to reissue the violation.
Okay, thank you. Is Andrew Miller Esquire present?
He was unavailable for today's hearing, but I've communicated with him regarding that situation.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anything else?
Not at the moment.
Okay. All right, we'll have to, I think we have John Wiskorik. And I mispronounced your name again. Would you mind spelling it and pronouncing it correctly for us?
Thank you, Chairman Woodson. It's John Wizorik. I have a few matters to draw the board's attention to today. First, numbers 38 and 39 on the list, appeals ending 2826, and number 39, the appeal ends 2827. These are both in regards to the property located at 1214 South 15th Street. The appellant is Mitchell Nace. The city has reached an agreement with the appellant and would like this to be a city affirm. I sent the details of that settlement agreement to the board this morning.
Okay, city affirm, is there a fine or a stay of enforcement, anything associated with it?
These were site violation notices, and the fine amount was $150 for each of the violations, each of the appeals.
All right, thank you. So noted for the record.
I would also like to draw the board's attention to number 18 on the list. Here, appeal ending 2699 for the property located at 6818 Paschal Avenue. Appellant was Albert Willis. The city and the board, I believe, just were notified that the appellant, since filing the appeal, has passed away. The appellant's daughter reached out to the board to let them know. I was communicating briefly with an attorney for the appellant, Jermaine Harris. However, he informed me over the weekend that he had lost touch with his client, which I believe was the daughter of Mr. Willis. I believe Miss Willis is here today, and I would like to request a breakout room with her, but at this time, given the moving pieces in this case, the city would like to request a continuance, and I apologize for not reaching out sooner.
Okay, let's do this. If the daughter or anyone representing the matter at 6818 Paschal Avenue is available, please identify yourself. Please unmute.
Hello, my name is Sharice Willis. Can you hear me?
We can hear
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we
Okay.
need to see your face as well. So turn on your video,
Oh.
please.
How do I turn it on? It says
It
stop
should be an
video, doesn't
icon
say
at the
it's
bottom of
off.
your screen that says start video.
It says stop video. I'm gonna hit it again. Oh, start video. Okay, now I'm gonna hit
Yes.
it again. Can you see me yet?
You
Not
have
yet.
your protective lens over your camera, so you need to slide it over.
Oh, okay. I slide it over my camera. Protective lens.
It's right over top of
I
your
kinda-
camera.
Right over top of my camera is a lens.
You're using a laptop?
Yes.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Two
Okay.
things.
Yes.
Ms. Willis, the attorney for the city would like to go in the breakout room with you. So if the two of you could do that and then work out the technical issue while you're in the breakout room, okay?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Wade will give you a breakout room prompt and you'll follow those prompts on your screen. And is there anything else, Mr. Skorick?
That's all. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. All righty. Let's hear from Sean Logue.
Good afternoon, board members. I'd like to call your attention to case number 11 on our list, appeal ending in 002544. Address is 1215 South Marco Street, and the appellant is Pamela Edmonds.
Yes.
I spoke to Ms. Edmonds yesterday, and she would like a continuance to see if information she's going to share with the department might change their view of the violation. I indicated that I would not be opposed to that request.
Okay,
I
so
believe Ms. Edmonds is present.
oh, Ms. Edmonds, please unmute, ma'am. You're still muted.
Hello, this is Pamela Edmonds.
Yes, ma'am. The request for continuance. You agreeing with that?
Yes, I am agreeing with it.
Okay, so we'll continue this matter to a later date. You'll get a notice for a new hearing time and date. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, have a good day.
Oh, you too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Mr. Logue, anything else?
Nope, that's it for my preliminary matters.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty. Mr. Thomas Guliza. Are you on mute, sir?
Sorry about that. Good afternoon.
Please
Mr.
pronounce your name so that we won't mess it up next time.
Certainly. It's Guyutsa.
Glutza? Okay, my apologies.
Yeah, Guyutsa, sir. Sorry.
Glutza. Okay. So what do you have for us?
Certainly. I'd like to direct the board's attention to case number 9 and case number 10. These are both with the same appellant, Ishmi Powell, and their appeal numbers are HA 2023-002523 and 002524 respectively.
Okay.
The city would like to request a continuance on both of these matters.
Okay. Is anyone present representing the interest of the property? Ishmael Powell.
Yes, I'm present.
Okay, Mr. Powell, sure if I'm able to see you.
Can you see me?
Yeah. My apologies, sir. What's the basis of the request for a continuance?
I unfortunately was unable to reach Mr. Powell during the course of the appeals process. I feel that these matters could be resolved via communication between us. So I'm requesting the continuance on that basis. Though, however, seeing that Mr. Powell is here, if I could receive a breakout room, we may be able to resolve it that way.
Okay, let's do this. Mr. Powell, are you available to talk to the city's attorney in a breakout room?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Wade will accommodate. Just note the prompts on your screen and go to the breakout room, please.
Is there an inspector that needs to go to, or?
No, that's okay.
Hold on. Do
Thank
you have
you.
any other, do you have any other matters?
Yes, I did have a few others.
Want to read
let's
them and then I'll put you in the breakout room? Mr. Powell, I'll put you in there. He'll be in shortly.
Okay, right.
Yeah, for case number 14 on the list, that is HA 2023-002632. This case, I was also going to request a breakout room to speak with the appellant.
Okay, that's 2732 South Darien Street.
That is correct, yes.
Is anyone present representing the interests of 2732 South Darien? No one's responding. Let's do this. We will call in regular order, sir, and see if anyone appears and determine whether or not you should attempt to negotiate at that time. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And then I had just a couple more to cite.
Okay.
So drawing your attention to case number 21 on the list, HA 2023-002731, 5117 North Marvine Street with Mr. Patterson. In this case, once again, unfortunately, the city was unable to reach Mr. Patterson for communication, and the city would like to request a continuance to allow time to reach the appellant.
Is anyone present representing 5117 North Marvine Street?
Mr. Patterson is here.
Mr. Patterson is present.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Patterson, it appears that there may be a way to resolve your matter without a hearing. And so if you have the patience to wait till the attorney is finished with the previously noted appellant, he can talk to you in a breakout
Yes,
room.
I have time, no problem.
Okay, so what we're going to do, sir, is I think you have a series of conversations you have to have in order. Is that correct, Ms. Galuzzi?
Yes, we needed to have a conversation. I had previously tried to reach out to the appellant on the information provided on the appeals sheet, but was unsuccessful.
Okay, so why don't you do this? Speak to each of the individuals who identified themselves. As they come back, you speak and put that on the record, and then we will eventually call it in regular order if it's resolved.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, Mr. Patterson, just be patient, and you will be noted at the appropriate time to go into a breakout room. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Wade, I hopefully you've been able to keep up with all of that.
I got it.
Okay, thank you. All right, who's okay? Mr. Macarulo again.
Yes, good afternoon again, board members.
Yes.
I would like to direct your attention to number 6 on the list, appeal ending 002512, 2113 North 21st Street. Appellants are Jamareldi Canella and Ismael Cabrera. I had a chance to speak with them in a breakout room, and we've come to an agreement just in the past few minutes for a city affirm with a 3-month stay of enforcement.
Okay. Settlement, city affirmed 3-month stay. Okay.
I
All right.
believe they are present, so I guess if we could just get them to confirm on the record that they
Sure.
have agreed to that.
Jaramaldi Canale and Ishmael Cabrera, are you present?
Yes.
Okay. Which of you will confirm that the city's position is you in agreement with?
Yes, sir.
Well, I need names on record. Tell us your name and then state you whether you agree or not.
My name is Ishmael Pina Cabrera. I'm agreed.
My name is Jamaraldi Canela. I'm agreed.
Okay, thank you. All right, we will note the settlement that's been represented by the city. Mr. Rulo, thank you very much. Your matter is resolved for today. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
You excuse. Mr. Rouleau, anything else?
No, that's it for me for now.
Okay. All right, Mr. Begelman.
Yes, hello, members of the board. I'm back regarding case number 26 on the list. Appeal number ending 2769. The address is 5249 D Street. I spoke to the appellant in a breakout room. I'm not sure if he made it back on the main room, but we spoke. He consented to the city continuance request. There's also a possibility the matter might be resolved in between now and the next listing. So I'd like to again request a continuance request.
Okay. Mr. Gene Paulnice. Are you present, sir? Okay, I don't see him, so we will note it as continued. City's request.
you.
Okay. Alrighty. Is anyone else? Oh, yeah, Miss Reinhardt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have just one more matter to bring to your attention. Number 61 on the list. This is appeal ending 1323 regarding 2036 South Cecil Street. Appellant Nash Properties LLC. This is the second listing for this case, and I'm unaware of an attorney representing the corporate entity.
Okay, so there was a request for a continuance today.
There was a previous request at a prior listing. I'm not aware of any communications.
Oh, okay.
I reached out to the appellant in order to ask who their attorney would be for this hearing and did not get a response. But
Okay,
because they're a corporate entity, they will need one today.
Okay, but let's do this. Mr. Wade, would you read this matter into the record, please?
This is matter 61, hearing appeal ending 1323, 2036 South Cecil Street, Nash Properties LLC.
Was there service?
Nash Properties listed 5242 Diamond Street as their.
We done. We're just listening. It's requested.
Nash Properties LLC listed 5242 Diamond Street as their mailing address. Service was sent to 5242 Diamond Street on April 15th, 2024.
Okay, thank you very much. No one responded. Ms. Reiner, what is your preference?
I would request city affirm for non-appearance.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
1:45.
1:45 p.m. Okay, we will poll the board on HA-2023-001323 2036 South Cecil Street, Nash Properties, City Affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Thank you very much. That matter is resolved. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, before we go on, what was the case right before this one?
Okay, you'll have to refresh my memory.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I got it. It was a continued matter for case number 26, Gene Paulnice. And since we're mentioning that, Mr. Begelman, if you can go, I'm trying to get them out of the breakout room. If you can go back in that breakout room and let them know that the matter was continued, they don't need to.
Thank you.
Can you okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I
Okay.
got Nicoya went in there to try and help them as well. All right.
Okay. The board itself has several matters it wants to bring to put on the record as a preliminary matter. The first one's number 4. That's 2490 600 Catherine Street, Eric Sachs. Anyone present representing the interest of the city and that address?
Yeah, this is Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Afternoon, Mr. Johnson. Anyone present representing the interests of 600 Catherine Street? Eric Sachs. Eric Sachs. Mr. Johnson, our concern here is that this is an LLC requiring legal counsel. Have you had any conversations?
That is, the violation was written to both the owner of the property, but also a notice was issued to an occupant of the property. So I'm not sure who Eric Sachs is, but it doesn't appear anyone has appeared.
Okay.
And again, this was filed over a year ago.
Okay. Alrighty. No one's responding to the call for Eric Sachs or anyone representing the interests of 600 Catherine Street. Mr. Wade, can
Mr.
you
Sachs
confirm
listed,
service?
Mr. Sachs listed 4813 Windsor Avenue as his address. Notice of this hearing was sent to 4813 Windsor Avenue on April 22nd.
Thank you. Time, Mr. Pincus?
1:47 PM.
1:47 PM. We will poll the board on HA 2023-002490, 600 Catherine Street, Eric Sachs, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's move down to number 7. It's 2514, 2038 East Elkhart Street. Justin Myers, who's representing that matter for the city?
That would be me. But I think I kind of screwed up. I was supposed to, my mother's the owner of the property.
Okay,
but-
you're Justin Myers, so
Yeah.
I'm also looking for the lawyer for the city who's representing this matter.
Oh,
Who's
I don't
going-
have a lawyer.
Okay, hold on just for a second. Okay, who's representing the city?
Is that a question to me?
No. I'm asking for one of the city's attorneys to speak up.
That is John Wazorek. I'm not sure. Is he in a breakout room?
Okay, he may be. We'll come back to that then. Mr. Myers, just be patient with us. I think he's speaking with another appellant. We'll come back to you in a short
Thank
order,
you.
okay? All right.
Yep.
Thank you. Alrighty, number 15, ending in 2676, 5911 Windsor Street, Lisa Kennedy. Who's representing?
This is Michael Rulo on behalf of the city for this matter.
Thank you. Lisa Kennedy. Lisa Kennedy, anyone present? For 5911 Windsor Street. No one's responding. Mr. Wade, please confirm service.
1 second. Ms. Kennedy listed 18 Eldwest Court, Voorhees, New Jersey as her listed address. Notice of this hearing was sent to 18 Eldwest Court, Voorhees, New Jersey on April 23rd.
Thank you very much. At this time, Mr. Pincus?
1:50 PM.
1:50 PM. Okay, we will poll the board on HA 2023-002676, 5911 Windsor Street, Lisa Kennedy, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on. Number 28. That's 2774. That's 2635 South 70th Street. Moses Konyan, Koyan. Is anyone present representing that matter? Which lawyer is present?
Lee Bagelman for the city of Philadelphia on this case.
Mr. Bagelman, Moses Koyan, Koyan. 2635 South 70th Street. No one is responding. Mr. Wade, would you confirm service, please?
Mr. Coyne listed as his address, his mailing address, 6634 Woodland Avenue. Notice this hearing was sent to 6634 Woodland Avenue on April 18th, 2024.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bagelman, what's your preference?
Yeah, just shortly before the hearing started, Mr. Koyan emailed me, said he was not aware that he needed an attorney, even though those instructions are on his appeal form that he submitted last year, and asked for a continuance. I responded and said the continuance request must be sent in to board's admin and instructed him to do so. I don't know if he sent that email in, but he is also not here for this hearing.
Okay.
So the city is not opposed to a city affirmed for failure to appear, but I just wanted to note for the record that I did communicate instructions for how he could request the continuance. I don't believe he followed those instructions.
Okay, so did he He submitted a request directly to you requesting a
He
continuance?
said he was, yes, not aware that he needed an attorney. Again, even though the appeal form stated that he did. But I don't believe he submitted a continuance request to the board officially.
Okay, no, we didn't receive one executive session. And the city's position is that you're not opposed to the continuance?
This is not opposed to continuance, but also Mr. Coyan has failed to appear. So I would ask this be marked as city affirmed, but I wanted to be candid to the board and alert you that he did communicate with me shortly before the hearing started.
Okay. What was his reasoning for the continuance request? Do you
He
know?
said he did not know if he needed when I emailed the exhibits to the board and copied him, I explained that because Mr. Coyan, the responsible party for the violation and the property owner is an LLC or is a corporation, it must be represented by an attorney. He emailed me and said he did not realize that and therefore wanted a continuance request. He did not indicate that he was searching for an attorney or that he needed more time to find one. He just said he did not know that was the rule and asked for a continuance.
Okay.
I replied to him. He has not replied to me, and I assume he has not emailed the board anything further.
Okay. I'm ready. Property maintenance. What time do you have, Mr. Pincus?
1:53 p.m.
1:53 p.m. Okay. Should Mr. Coyan determine otherwise, he can always ask for reconsideration. But for the moment, we're going to poll the board on HA-2023-002774, 2635 South 70th Street, Moses Coyan, city affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on. Number 41, ending in 2833, that's 413 North 38th Street. Alevelu Nanila. And I'm not certain if I have that pronounced correctly. Nainala.
Hi, this is Chris Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, is the appellant present?
Yes,
I've
I'm
not-
present.
Your name, ma'am?
My name is Ratnakar Chimudu. I'm representing the property 413 North 38th Street.
You an
LLC.
attorney? Are you an attorney, sir?
No, sir, I'm not an
can't-
attorney.
You cannot represent the interests of that property if you are not an attorney. What is your relationship to this address?
I own the property. I'm one of the partner of the property.
Oh, so this is an LLC.
Yes.
Oh, you need an attorney to represent you before this board.
Okay.
Okay, would you mind would you mind spelling your last name, sir, so we can have it correctly for the record?
Sure. My last name is Chimudu, Chemudu.
Okay. The individuals whose name is noted on the appeal, who is that?
She's my wife, Alivelu Nainala.
Okay. Alrighty. Your LLC will need an attorney to represent your interests at these hearings. That was clearly stated on the appeal document that you received. Did you notice that on the information you received?
Apologies, I would have missed reading that information.
Oh, yeah, it's fairly clear. If you're a corporately owned appellant, you must have an attorney to represent your interests. Mr. Johnson, do you have a different opinion about that?
No, sir. There would need to be an attorney on this one. And if I may also, there's a violation regarding historic property that is the basis for this. So they need to get a permit or a permission from the historical commission regarding the repair to the property, possibly. So it should be continued.
Okay. Alrighty. We will continue this matter, sir. Just for the record, how many individuals are part of the ownership of this property?
There are 4 individuals.
Okay. You have some matters, it appears, the Historic Commission that you'll need to resolve as well. So we're going to continue this for the moment so that you can consult an attorney.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We'll continue that matter.
Thank you.
Okay.
Chairman Woodson, if I may.
Yes.
I was just in a breakout room with the appellant for number 18 on the list, Miss Willis, who should
Yes.
still be on the line. I apologize for interrupting. She wanted to go pick up her granddaughter. We would have a joint continuance request for this appeal ending 2699 for the property located at 6818 Paschal Avenue. The appellant was Albert Willis.
Yes. Okay, joint continuance request. Okay. Now, is this the appellant who's since passed away?
Yes.
So they have matters to resolve in terms of the estate, et cetera, I assume.
Yes, Chairman.
Okay. All right, thank you. So we'll set this out for a bit.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All righty.
Excuse me, what was those numbers?
That was number 19.
18.
18, number 18.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Let's move down to number 59.
Thank you.
That's 6002 Master Street. Last four letters of the appeal is 1464. Core States Group LLC.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
We settled
I
that.
have an agreement with a
Yeah,
city
that was settled.
and $1,000 fine.
Okay, my apologies. That may have been when I think that may have been when I froze. Okay, that's the settlement agreement with City Affirm. What was the
$1,000 fine.
okay, thank you. So that matter's resolved. Okay. Okay, I believe that represents all the preliminary matters that the board has. Anyone else from the city with a unresolved matter that we need to deal with before we call the balance of the list?
I
Please.
believe, Mr. Chairman, you called one earlier, and I think it involved Mr. Wisserek, and he was in the conference room. There was a gentleman who was on the screen.
Yes, they
Yeah.
may. I think he had multiple.
He's back in the
individuals to speak.
breakout. I put him back in the breakout room with Mr.
I believe
Powell.
it's case number 15. Am I
Yes,
right?
Mr. Myers is waiting for him to come back.
I am back.
Oh, okay, okay. You need to. Mr. Myers has asked for an opportunity to speak with you in the breakout room.
Okay.
Okay, so
Thank you.
Mr. Wade, if you could do that, put Mr. Myers in the breakout room. Thank you, Mr. Myers. Did you hear what we just said? You should get
Yes.
a prompt. Okay, you should get a prompt for a breakout room, and please join with the city attorney to have a discussion regarding your matter. Okay.
This, before we go into a breakout room, I believe the issue with this case is standing. I assume
Yes.
that's what the board raised. I think the city would object to the appellant in this case having standing because they are not the property owner and do not have an interest in the property.
Okay.
And I've
So-
spoken to Mr. Myers about that previously.
Oh, you have. Oh, okay. So wait, before we do that, let's resolve matters as we can. Then, this is regarding HA-2023-002514, 2038 East Elkhart Street, Justin Myers. Mr. Myers, you are not the owner of the property.
No, it's my mother's property.
Okay, is your mother in sound mind and in health?
Yes, sometimes. But she isn't with me right now. And I usually I'm like kind of handling her matters.
Okay, she's really should represent herself.
She can, so I'm like wondering if we can we just redo this process and put her in charge and we kind of go that route?
Yeah, you can read, Mr. Where's that? You have any objection to a refiling of the appeal?
By the mother,
Yes.
the city would have no objection to that, no.
Okay, or just substituting the mother's name on the appeal.
What's that?
I'm just trying to work out a way to have your mother be identified as the appellant, rather than yourself. So she would have to speak. Just it's a small matter, but I just want to make sure we do it correct.
Notice was sent. Notice for this appeal was sent to both Donna. Is that?
Yes.
And yourself. Donna was sent notice at 865 Cornwalls Ave.
Correct.
Okay.
So she is on the appeal, I believe.
She is. Okay, is she present now and prepared to represent herself today?
She is not.
Okay, so we're gonna continue this then.
Okay.
Okay, we'll continue it and have her, when we reschedule it, and have her come back and be prepared to speak.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then okay.
Okay, thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else from anyone before we call the list? Okay. All right, my apologies for this extensive preliminary section. It's just that we had a very long list today. Hopefully we can move through pretty quickly now. All righty, Mr. Wade, I think we have to go to the top of the list.
I have a couple matters. There was one request for a inspector availability, but that matter was resolved.
Okay.
Real quickly, preliminarily, case number 64, we continued, but that was for a streetery. That's something for a city council needs to be. So I'm going to continue that out pretty far.
Yes.
Okay. And then lastly, I have a Paul Molnar, and he is on a library computer. I told him that we would try and take his case as quickly as we could.
Okay, which one? That's number
49.
46, 49? Okay, let's call that one then.
This is case number 49, hearing appeal ending 0304, 400 West Stafford Street, Paul Molnar.
Okay. Who's representing the city?
Just representing myself.
Okay, Mr. Marner, would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Who's representing the city in this matter?
I believe it's Mike Rulo.
Yes, it is. This is Mr. Rulo here. I apologize. I missed the first part of when the board called this. I thought it was further down the list.
Yeah, we decided to call it out of order. Mr. Marner is in a public space, so we want to be able to accommodate his issues. You have a witness today, Mr. Rulo?
I do. If you could just give me 1 second. Apologies, board members, just indulgence for 1 second. Trying to locate my notes for today's hearing. Yes, the inspector for this case is going to be Inspector Hollis Gravel.
Okay. Is the inspector available?
Yes. This is Inspector Kruger.
Okay, sir, would you just adjust your screen just a tad bit because we can't make out your face because of the background.
Are you talking about me?
No. I was talking to the inspector. Okay.
Is that better?
That's a lot better. Just raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you give today be the truth to help you God?
I do.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Rulo, would you please proceed?
Yes, board members. So just to give you a quick overview before I turn to the inspector, this matter concerns a notice of violation that was issued in December of 2022 for a series of violations relating to what the city alleges is a vacant property that lacks a vacant property license, and a series of issues, property maintenance issues regarding sanitation, drainage, high weeds, and other issues. Just to confirm, I believe that the exhibit packet for this matter was previously submitted to the board and to the appellant by my colleague, Kristen Packle. I would just want to confirm that the board did in fact receive that and has a copy of it available.
Yes.
Okay, with that, I would just turn to Inspector Gravel. Inspector, are you familiar with the property located at 400 West Stafford Street?
Yes, I am.
And have you inspected that property?
Yes, I did.
Okay. With the board's permission, I'd like to share my screen.
Yes.
Board's indulgence, appears that my computer is being a little bit slow today. Can you see what's been displayed on the screen as City Exhibit 1, titled Violation Notice in Order to Correct? Inspector Gravel?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. And are you familiar with this document?
Yes, I do.
And what is this document?
It's a violation notice.
Okay. And can you quickly walk the board through, I'll zoom in here, but what the violations were that were issued for this property?
You have to, first one was maintain the vacant property. The other one was remove the trash on the front porch, the rear yard, and the other exteriors.
Okay, wait, ma'am, Mr. Cravel, we're having some connectivity matters, so echo in the background.
Yeah,
Mr. Wade, can you get a sense of how we can resolve that?
Disconnected, sir. It sounds like you have multiple devices, or do you have multiple microphones connected?
Mr. Cravel, the IT person is speaking to you.
Uh-huh. No, I just have my, I'm on my computer, my laptop.
Okay, and your headphones are connected to your laptop?
Yes.
I think part of it is that, sir, you were leaning back and your voice wasn't being picked up. It was echoing. So if you could stay focused as you are now, that would be helpful. Okay. Okay, Mr. Rulo, let's try this again. See if we can.
Okay, Inspector Cravel, so the violations that are issued here are for maintaining the vacant property under PM 15301, removing trash from the front porch, rear yard, and exteriors under PM 15302.1, and then cutting high weeds on the exteriors, PM 15302.4. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Move down to the next page here. There were another 3 violations issued, PM 15304.10 for repairing the broken front steps, PM 15304.7 for repairing a cornice around a downspout, and PM 15901.1 for additionally for further violation of maintaining the vacant property. Is that also correct?
That is correct. I can respond to that echo. It's somebody else's computer that's not plugged in. That's why it's.
Okay. Thank you.
And then the final violation was for the need to obtain a vacant structure license under 9-3905. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. I'm going to move to what has been marked as city exhibit, excuse me, as 3. What is shown in this image?
The exterior front and side of the property.
Okay, so this is 400 West Stafford Street, correct?
That is correct.
And this photo is evidencing what's been cited in terms of the high weeds at the property, or at least part of that violation, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to move to the second. What is shown in this image?
That's the broken steps.
Okay. And so one of the violations, this is showing the violation noted, I previously noted for deterioration of the front steps of the property. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to move on to this image. What's shown here?
That's the porch area.
And this is one of the areas where we have seen the accumulation of debris at the property, correct?
Assumably so, yes.
Okay. And again, you've inspected this property, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And moving on to this next image, what are we seeing here?
I just wanted to notify the 400, which tells you that that's the exact address.
Okay. And moving on to this image, what is shown here?
That's the rear exterior of the property. That's some of the high weeds again, and what appears to be trash.
And I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer on this image. I know it's a little bit blurry, but when we're looking at the rear of the property here, is the door on the rear of the property actually boarded up?
It seemed to be from where I was.
And we also see that there appears to be boards at least partially covering the windows of the property, correct?
That's correct.
I'm going to zoom back out on this image 1 second. And what is shown in this image?
That is to highlight the cornice, which is the top angular portion of that building right there, and it shows that it has some rotted portions to it.
And do we also see what appears to be dampness or mold accumulating on the side of the building on the corner there?
Assumably so, yes.
And so is that evidencing what was previously cited in terms of deterioration of downspouts?
Yes, that along with the corners.
And then we're moving on to this image. What's the date that's listed on the image at the bottom?
That's Friday, November the 17th, 2023.
Okay, and this is for, demonstrating that the deterioration on those front steps continues to exist.
Yes.
And in your inspections and based on the records of the department, have you seen any improvement in the conditions of the property since this was initially cited?
I saw an attempt to cut some of the weeds that might be hanging toward the sidewalk, but beyond that, I don't see much. And they cleared up a little bit of the stuff that was on the porch, but beyond that, I haven't seen much other improvements.
But all of those violations continue to exist. They have not been fully complied, correct?
They have not been fully complied. That's correct.
Moving on to this next image, what is this showing?
That would be, again, parts of the rear of the property, the high weeds and the cornice, the rotted cornice.
Okay. And then this image is showing again the accumulation of the weeds at the property.
The high weeds.
And this is another image showing that accumulation of weeds, correct?
Yes, and that shows how it sort of veers toward the sidewalk.
And if we zoom in on the image here, we actually see that there is another downspout that are those indications of accumulation of mold around that downspout as well?
You can see it around the bricks. That's close to the downspout.
And then this is another image of the porch showing that there's a remaining accumulation of that debris, correct?
Yes, some of the other things that were on there were removed, but this is what's left.
And so the violation for that accumulation of rubbish still exists.
Well, what appears to be rubbish might still be part of what's left, yes.
And then finally, excuse me, I think we have a couple more. This is another image showing a deterioration of the rear cornice and the downspout, correct?
Still exists, yes.
We have another image of the rear of the property that's showing the accumulation of weeds and that other deterioration, correct?
Still exists, yes.
And then we have another image here. This is actually from February 2024, showing the front of the property again and that accumulation of debris, correct?
Yes.
And if we zoom in on this image, we see actually above the porch here that there's further accumulation of what appears to be mold on the side of the building, correct?
That is correct.
And then in this image, so this property is actually attached to the neighboring property, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And just for clarity on the record, it is the property that's on the left, that's 400 West Stafford Street, correct?
That is correct. That happens to be the corner property.
Mr. Corvell, just one moment. This is Kenneth Woodson breaking in. Would you mind asking your office mates if they could speak a little softer? Because we're overhearing their conversation.
Coming over here, we're hearing everything that you're saying. So you have to do this.
Thank you.
My pleasure, sir.
Okay, Mr. Rulo.
This image again is from February 2024, and it's showing that those conditions at the rear of the property still, correct?
Yes.
All right, and then we have, are these some of the latest images of the property?
It appears to be, unless I see a date.
And again, this is another picture of the front of the property on those deteriorating stairs, correct?
Yes.
We see the accumulation of debris in those boards on the porch again, correct?
Yes.
Another image of that, correct?
That is correct.
And this is an additional image of that?
Yes.
With that, just give me 1 second, board members. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Just need to verify one other item. Okay, and additional question here, but when the department goes out to the property, what factors do they look at for determining if a property is vacant?
Well, one of them, if you go back to where you look at the front door where the number is, there is no handle on that door that can show that the door opens or closes. And the other one is boarded up, so I'm not sure how the entrance to the property exists.
Okay, if you could just give me 1 second, I will pull that up. Can you see that image on the screen now?
Yes, right there.
So can you explain that again?
One, you can see the boards over, I guess what might be, I'm not sure if that's windows or another door. And then you look to the left of it where you see the 400. If you were to zoom in on that door, the handle of that door.
So based on when you were out there, you're saying that it appeared that the handle that is there was not operable?
Yeah, the first one, this one here is okay, but there's another one that I think that was before, and it looked as though that door wasn't being used.
And then as we previously discussed, the actual rear door of the property is boarded up.
It appears so from a distance where I was, yes.
And what other indicia does the department look at to determine if a property is vacant or not?
The general look of from the exterior, you can make the strong assumption if somebody is going in and out, like the front steps. If they're going there frequently, then there'd probably be a what might seem to be a pathway of some kind from someone trotting back and forth on it. In this case, it's just debris on the front step that seems as though it's not being walked on or walk around. So that's just a constant accumulation of weeds and stuff that nobody's really clearing.
Okay, and in this instance, the property still does not have a vacant structure license, is that correct?
No, it doesn't.
All right, that does it for my preliminary questions for the inspector.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Molnar, do you have any cross-examination questions for the inspector?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there are a number of interpretations that were applied that were inaccurate.
Well, sir, wait a minute. This is your time to ask him questions based on his testimony. You can present your case in a few moments, but for the moment, do you have any specific questions?
Well, he didn't seem to be aware of which photos apply for.
Well, ask him a question. Ask him a question, then he can respond.
Okay, I just took a record of the attached photos that were applied to my file, and I have a recording the dates and parties who were associated with those photos, all the way from
Mr. Molnar,
2020.
Mr. Molnar, did you understand my instructions to you? My instructions were for you to ask him questions based on his testimony. If you don't have any questions, that's okay. But for the moment, do you have any questions based on his testimony?
I think he might have been frozen.
Okay, wait a minute. Mr. Molnar? Mr. Molnar? Okay. Okay, Mr. Kelly, we're going to go out the record just for a moment. Mr. Wade, what can we do to try to help Mr. Molnar get reconnected?
I can have someone reach out and call him.
Okay.
He's still appearing like he's on. I don't know if it's just the library.
Mr. Chairman, this is John Kelly, the court reporter. I'm showing this is off the record. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Thanks.
I will try and reach out.
Okay.
He's at the library, so it's a little difficult sometimes.
Inspector Cravell, you're not muted.
Mr. Chair, do you get a certain time limit to be on the library's computer?
I don't know. That's why I asked Mr. Wade to reach out and see if there's anything we should or could do
Yes,
to
the
help.
answer to that question is yes, they generally give you a time frame, but he should have made it clear that he was in a Zoom meeting with the city, and they probably could have extended that for him, so. But yes, you're generally allotted specific amount of time, Mr. Washington.
Thank you.
I appreciate everyone's patience in this matter. We will proceed as quickly as we can as we try to attempt a workaround with the current case.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Can I request a 15-minute break?
Sure. We're going to maintain connectivity. If you need to excuse yourself, that's perfectly fine. Because I don't know when when the appellant will come back on. So I need to be able to, when we get him back, to continue. So anyone who needs to take a break, please do that and come back as quickly as you can.
Or would you like me to pause the recording?
Yes, we're currently off the record. So
I mean, this was marked must be tried, so that's why I have him.
yeah. Mr. Rulo, we've asked the appellant to call in because he's at a public facility, and apparently there's some issues with the facility being up and running and connectivity. And so what I'm going to do, if your witness is available, is to temporarily continue your matter so we can hear another matter and get it out of the way, and hopefully the appellant will call in and then we will resume your hearing, okay?
Yes, I do. I would just note that depending on what Mr. Molnar raises, I may have an additional exhibit to introduce, which
Okay.
if he is only appearing via telephone would obviously create some complexities.
Good, understood. Okay, we'll work that out when we get to that, if we get to that. In the meantime, Mr.
Here he
Wade,
is.
oh, he's here? Oh,
No, let's see. Mr. Milner. You have to unmute your phone, Mr. Milner.
Hello,
Yes.
anyone?
Yes.
Yes, I'm back online. I'm back. There's nothing on the screen. I'm just dealing with the phone. That's the only way I can communicate.
okay.
All right.
Mr. Milner, we will attempt to proceed with you now on your telephone. Are you able to, you aren't able to see any images, I take it?
No, I'm not. The screens are dead here.
Okay.
They all went dead on me while I was in the midst of being inquired as to whether or not I had cross-examination for Mr. Cravell.
Okay.
Inspector Cravell.
Yes, what we're going to do now then if the city has some additional exhibits, we'll try to describe them to you so that you understand what we're doing. But in the meantime, uh, we will ask again if you have any specific questions of Mr. Cravell. And then wait for his response before you say anything else, okay? Because you're trying to make a record. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, the questions are that he didn't seem to understand when some of these photos were taken. An interpretation of the existence of high weeds was totally erroneous. I've got hedges, I've got shrubs,
Mr.
and I've
Cravell,
got
wait, Mr. Cravell, what you're making now a statement. You're not asking a question. You have to ask a
I'm
question. And
saying
then
what
ask a question. If not, then we can just move on and have you make a presentation. But you have to ask him a very specific question.
that's just that most of what I was hearing was erroneous information he was presenting.
Sir, that is not, we're going to do this.
Yes.
We're going to move on from the question and ask Mr. Rulo. Do you have any additional witnesses, Mr. Rulo?
I do not have any additional witnesses, but I would just note, because Mr. Molnar brought it up, that Inspector Cravell was testifying as a records witness based on, in addition to his personal observation. So I just did want to note that.
Okay. Alrighty. So that, are you prepared now for Ms. Molnar? Are you prepared to present your case, your understanding of what's going on?
As far as I know, I would certainly, I have the last 11 photos in the midst of about 22 photos that were shown as an addendum to my case. So I have the last 11 pages from page 22 to 33. And they show the most recent photos of the premises from February 2nd, 2024. And many of them were taken by someone whose name was John Soar 3 at the bottom of the page. But they're given with the date February 2, 2024. Okay. And so I have, starting from page 22, which shows the side and front of the property, not the full face front, but the side presenting the porch area. And what one sees there is a lot of hedges and shrubbery that is masking the immediate property itself. There's also a retaining wall that goes down to the brick sidewalk. And it shows the condition of the steps, which have not been reconstructed since they were damaged going back some decade. And the roofing was redone back in 2012. So at any rate, they are not weeds. They are shrubbery, hedges, and then there are simply the stalks of the hosta plants, which are broadleaf plants that line the base of the yard. It consumes the side of the property, the front of the property, and the rear of the property. They're all around the perimeter of the property itself. But those stalks are those of flowers that come up annually from these hosta plants. They are not, I pull them out and by March and maybe April of each year, and I collect them and put them out for trash pickup. And that's what I have been doing since I started receiving notice to the effect that these were being interpreted as weeds. So I have gone over this property each year since first notified in 2022 of the premises being in violation due to the existence of high weeds. But the interpretation of most of these larger shrubs and hedges is erroneous. They're not weeds. They're,
what about the other areas? Sir, what about the other areas?
Yeah, on the porch, I have reduced the dramatic level of objects on the porch to the point where there is basically just recyclable bins and trash receptacles, which I constantly am using throughout the time I'm there. And they are the boards that are put up against these large windows, of which there are two, and that can be reached from the porch, go into my bedroom. And I do not wish somebody cracking all that glassware. And I wish I simply cover them with the remaining woodwork that was left over when I cut large pieces of plywood to cover the rear door area, which was broken in about 10 years ago. The rear door was broken in, as well as the basement door, and I replaced them with sheets of plywood to keep anybody from getting back in again.
Okay.
And
what about the downspouts and the rotted wood around the roof?
they're not rotted wood. They're weathered wood. That was all brand
No,
new wood put in back in
the soffit area
I know.
that shows holes.
I know what you're talking about. I'm looking at that first page, page 22, which shows the existence of those boards, which were brand new when they were put in some 12 years ago, 12 years ago, and they just simply were weathered. That's just darkened wood. I didn't paint the damn things altogether. I left an awful lot of it left up as a brand new wood, and it simply weathered to that extent. That is not mold. That is nothing more than aging woodwork. And that is the same around the downspouts, both around the porch there, as well as in the backyard. Those are downspouts that were, some of them one was removed down by the, I'll get a picture of what I'm talking about. But these photos, as I said, I have the photos. Page 24 shows a photo of the large downspout that goes all the way from the third floor roof down to the ground, and that large downspout is weathered considerably and rusted in spots, but it still operates as a downspout. And there was a smaller downspout to the rear of the property where there's a small window. If you can see in that page 24, that's my kitchen area. That small window gives access to, and was a downspout at the very lower end of that roof. That downspout got blown down and then was removed by somebody who was a trash collector of aluminum, and so I have to reinsert that. But that was there, and that was originally the way the roof was drained from that portion.
Okay.
But all along the side, there's cornice works up at the top of the second floor roof. You can see the cornice work too. That again is area that was rotted, but I had managed to cover it with screen to keep the intrusion of squirrels from getting into the underside of the roof, the third floor roof.
But
so
you didn't
that was
replace
covered before
wait, but you didn't replace the wood.
Yeah.
You just put screen up there. Is that correct?
I put screen over. I nailed it to the remaining wood, and it's covered. That darkened condition is the screening, the last that was put there in place of the wood that had rotted. And I couldn't manage to. I tried to solicit for the intention of some parties to could have taken care of that problem for me and replaced the wood, but it was absolutely excessive.
Excuse me, sir. We want to be able to get through everything. So we do have another question. Is that I'm going to ask Mr. Rulo. Mr. Rulo, do you have any specific questions of Mr. Of the appellant, Mr. Molnar?
I do have a few questions. Mr. Molnar, did I understand correctly? Are you alleging that you live at this property?
I certainly have for like 48 years.
So you currently reside at the property?
I'm currently not residing there. I have another location where I have been remaining for some time because I've got work to be done on this property, and I do not want to experience the inconvenience that it would be to live there.
Okay, so you do not live at the property. The next question.
Not currently, no. Yes.
And do you have any photos that are showing the work that you've performed, and have you submitted those to the board?
The work was done in between the periods that the photographs are taken during. They are taken usually during the end of a year or the beginning of that year, the following year. And they are the times when these high weeds are attested to, but that's not all. The front porch area, I've cleaned that up, and I've cleaned up the backyard area, and I can show you the photographs but I did not take care of the steps because I did not want to have to address that during the time frame that I was summoned to do something about them during winter months. And I definitely know that I should be probably taking care of the front steps, the entrance to the porch. That definitely needs to be addressed, the first 4 steps. I have done only. Go ahead.
Mr. Rulo? Yeah.
That does it for my question.
Yes.
Reserve some time for argument.
Okay. Mr. Molnar, some of the statements you've made regarding screening that you've put up and the lack of the front steps, even the vegetation, even the vegetation that's grown up, those items are in violation of city code. So the issue is, what are you going to do about correcting the violations?
I don't understand why the shrubbery that does still exist there is being seen as weeds. This is, I told you, hedges.
I didn't, sir. I didn't say they were weeds. I said they were vegetation, and there's code regarding how high vegetation is allowed to grow. That's all.
Well, it's referenced as weeds in the report that I received and complaint.
Okay. Also, is there any reason why you haven't purchased a vacant property license?
No, as a matter of fact, I was about to do that after the first notice of that I received back on February 2022, and having done that, I was about to do something about it when I thought, shoot, maybe I better discuss this matter at length, because I knew that if I opened up the door for people to come in, there might be more complaints made about having seen the interior of the building than since the exterior was onerous enough in dealing with the city on that matter, since I knew they were misinterpreting.
Yeah. Sir, a vacant property license in 2 years would have been a good idea, because it would have shown that you are willing and able to comply with some of the outstanding violations. So you should probably
I was trying to get it, and I could not access the information required to be able to do that remotely from home. I was being told I was going to have to go into town to be able to make that happen. And I couldn't make that happen So I couldn't make that happen remotely, and I thought, well, maybe I should just address this in the hearing that I was scheduled to have, since I'd already been scheduled to get one.
Yeah, but the hearing isn't the place to work out that. The hearing is really to hear your appeal and to hear the city's response to your appeal, and so that's what we're trying to do. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm saying that I was seeing most of these things that were cited as violations did not appear to me to be reasonable sightings of violations of the city. They were. I've had that property for, as I said, 48 years.
Sir,
and I have
you
not
made
been
that argument. Wait. You stated your position. You shared that information with us previously. So we have other cases we need to hear. So. What I'd like to do now, I'm going to invite Mr. Rulo to give his final argument. You share what your belief is, and then we will vote on the outcome of the case, okay?
Well, I've addressed a few of the issues that Mr. Cravel had attended to, the front door, the porch area.
Yeah, you shared with us, you put the boards up. We understand why you did it. You shared that with us. You told us that. Okay. Mr. Rulo?
Yes, I'll be brief. So first off, there was the violation of 304.10 regarding the conditions of the stairs. I think based on what we've heard is that Mr. Molnar has admitted that violation exists by noting that he does need to do work on that. Mr. Molnar has admitted that he doesn't reside in the property and that he does not have a vacant property license, meaning that those associated violations regarding the vacancy of the property have been admitted. We have other violations here of 301.3, 302.1, 304.7, and 901.1 that all concern essentially deterioration of the conditions at the property. I don't think that the board has heard anything that can dispute the photographs that the city has presented, showing that there is deterioration and a failure to maintain the property consistent with those code provisions. The only section that Mr. Molnar appears to be creating a legal dispute on is regarding 302.4, which concerns weeds and plants in excess of 10 inches. There is an exception, which is that term shall not include cultivated flowers and gardens. I think that the photos that have been shown here have shown that those beds have not been maintained, prepared, tended over multiple years of photographs. So our position is that every one of these violations has either been admitted or clearly demonstrated by the photographs.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Molnar, anything else you'd like to add before we vote on your case?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to have to deal by phone right now, but thank you. At any rate, it kind of glossed over the individual items here, the maintaining vacant property. I mean, I have been maintaining that property, and it's, as I said, the photos are all of the same time frame, basically. And these are all taking place in the very early part of the year when we're still in winter, and they do not show the effect of what I have done subsequent to the taking of each of these photos, as to the raising of the issues of the high weeds in the exterior, and the removal of trash from the front porch was addressed, and as it's shown on one of the photos that I have here, more recent photos of the front porch area, which is also showing the front door, which is fully functional. But there's page 28 and 28 and 29 show the front porch having been attended to when it comes to the trash cans that are held up there. I'm sorry.
All right, thank you.
And 28. And the front door is fully functional.
Okay, but those are matters you've shared with us already. So we've heard your position on those. Anything that you have not said already that you want to add?
Yeah, let me go over the other issues.
Okay, sir, but I'm asking that you would specifically add anything that you haven't said. You've said quite a bit so far. Anything new?
I'm just trying to go through the pages that involve the different issues. Premises of the waste material approved by code official. What is this? Wait a minute. Hold it. I'm flipping between two pages here. The third violation, what is it? Third violation. That's the fourth violation listed as repair broken steps. Okay, that's what. Fifth violation, repair cornice around downspout. As I said, that was I did address that issue, and it was due to the fact that wood had rotted out underneath, and it was going to cost me a hell of a lot of money to get that repaired. So I simply covered over the areas that were damaged by the underside of the gutter work, which had rotted out, and before I had the gutters replaced.
You shared that with us already, sir. Any new information?
I'm looking. Maintain vacant property.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I thought we was under the impression that this was closing, especially since Mr. Rulo have already.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to direct him to. You're absolutely right. That's what I'm asking, that he bring his comments to a close.
Yeah, it's just that it's hard to sum up without reading over each of these issues one at a time.
Okay.
Is there any way I can talk to somebody over in one of these waiting rooms you set aside for discussion?
Not at this point, sir. We're at the end of your hearing. We're prepared to vote on your case. But now, what I would recommend you do.
Sound good.
May I finish? What I recommend you do is call the inspector. Once we vote, you still should call the inspector to help them understand what progress you're attempting to make to get this resolved, because this stems from a complaint from your neighbors. Okay.
It's just that I was unaware that I could reach the man successfully in discussing the matter at length when I tried to communicate with him in the past.
Okay.
I tried to bring up the attention to the issues I've already discussed with you.
Okay.
And
Well,
I
where
still
we
haven't
are,
done that very
unfortunately, where we are today is that we have to make a decision based on the official complaint and the official violation notices that have been written. Okay, so we're at the point now, Mr. Rulo, something you want to add before we vote?
Yes, just very quickly, to the extent that the appellant wants to reach out to the department to continue disputing whether these are violations, that's not a conversation that is occurring. At this point, the city's position is that these violations exist and they need to be complied. If Mr. Molnar wants to reach out to call for a reinspection, once he has done work to comply those violations, he is welcome to do so. But I just wanted to make it clear, the city's position is that these violations exist still, period.
Thank you very much. We're going to call the vote on this matter at HA-2023-000304, 400 West Stafford Street, Paul Molnar, City Affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself from the vote as I had to take an emergency call during the city's presentation.
Okay.
I did not hear the full extent of the city's case.
Please note the record that Board Member Penn is recusing herself.
Who is that? Board member who?
City affirmed.
City Affirmed. Board Member Penn stated she was not going to vote in this matter. She did not hear all of the testimony. But we do have
I'm sorry, you said the name of somebody there who was recusing themselves.
Yeah,
Who
Beverly
was that?
Penn. Beverly Penn, who was a member of the board, stated for the record that she was recusing. She was not going to vote because she did not hear all of the testimony. But we have votes from everyone else. And 1, 2, 3, 5 individuals voted city affirmed, which means, sir, you've lost your appeal. Now you may appeal our decision. May I finish? You may appeal our decision. If you need information as to how to appeal a decision of the board, please call the administrator's office and they can give you information that will be helpful to you. Okay?
And the administrator's office is listed in the board notice of hearing?
Yes,
that
information.
The telephone number is 215-868-20.
Yes, you don't.
Okay.
Sir, you don't have to repeat it for the record. It's in the record, okay? So call them if you want information. All right, thank you very much. This matter is resolved. Let's move on. Thank you. Have a good day. You excuse the inspectors, excuse Mr. Rulo. You have anything else for us?
No, that is.
There's nobody else I need to speak to. Is that it?
Not today. No, the hearing is done.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, you had something?
Thank you, sir. I had a chance to go into a breakout room. And I think
Mr. Gravel, if you would, thank you, Mr. Gravel. Sir, you excused for today, Mr. Gravel? Okay, Mr. Johnson?
I would direct the board's attention to case number 42 on the list.
Yes.
We have a resolution in that case.
Okay, thank you. Want to state it for the record?
Yes, I had a chance to talk to Ms. Tara Gibbs and Antonio Watson regarding case number HA 2023-002834. For a permit for their retaining wall at 6570 Windsor Street. They appeared here today. I believe they're still on. We have an agreement. It is the appeal be marked city affirmed with 120 day stay of enforcement.
Oh, city affirmed 120-day stay. Is Tara Gibbs or Antonio Watson present?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to confirm that you in fact agree with the representations of the city's attorney?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, just give us your name, both of you, since both of you are responding. Give us your name, please.
Tara Gibbs.
And just indicate whether you agree with the city's position.
Yes, I agree.
Any other person?
Antonio Watson.
And you also agree?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for your cooperation. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty, Mr. Wazorek.
Thank you, Board Chairman. I'd like to direct your attention to number 8 on the list, appeal ending 2518 for the address located at 2319 North College Ave. The appellant was Caroline Sue. We had a chance to talk in a breakout room, and at this time, we'd like to make a joint request for a continuance. a quick turnaround would be fine. We just want to have a few more discussions about this case before proceeding to a hearing.
Okay, is Caroline Sue present?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay, ma'am, and also you're joining the city in requesting a continuance?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Would noted as continued.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
You too.
Okay,
Thank you,
Mr.
Board Chair. Could my Inspector Griffin be excused, please?
Yes,
And
he's
that was
excused.
my last case as well, so if I could be excused, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, you
Thank
excused.
you, Chairman Woodson.
Yep, Mr. Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Regarding appeal number 37, appeal number ending in 2824, appellant Delaney Andrews. I just spoke with Miss Andrews in a breakout room, and she indicated that she had an emergency and needed to leave immediately for the doctor. I don't know if she is still with us or if she did depart. It looks like she is still here, at least signed into the call. Yeah. So given what she communicated to me, my understanding is she wants to request a continuance, and I will not oppose it. It very quickly, it's a series of property maintenance violations, and they are all marked complied except for a vacant property license violation. And my understanding is that Ms. Andrews is in the process of getting the vacant property license. So
Okay.
hopefully this doesn't even need to be heard when it comes back.
Okay, Ms. Andrews, you requesting a continuance?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Would noted as continued. Okay, you excused.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, members of the board, and I believe that concludes my business before you today.
have a good afternoon. You excused.
Thank you very much. Likewise.
Okay, Mr. Wade, Mr. Wade, what do you have next? Where should we go?
There's another hand up, Mr. Chairman.
I think he left it up from before. That's John Resurrick. I think that was, he just didn't put
My
change his screen.
apologies, Board.
Okay, there you go.
We can go up to the top of the list, case number 3, but cases 9 and 10 for South Redfield. We did not put the continuance on the record. I believe Thomas Cadea was in the breakout room with that appellant. I don't know if we wanted to read those continuance requests.
Okay, just read the both in and we'll note it as continued.
Case number, I don't know.
Actually, if I could interject real quick, sorry. For case number 9 in on Redfield Street, we've actually come to a settlement.
Okay, so you need to put your name on the record because the court reporter needs to know who's speaking.
Oh, my apologies, Chairman Woodson. This is Thomas Guyutsa, attorney for the city.
Okay, so you want to speak to both 9 and 10?
Yes, please.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank you. So for case number 9, the city has come to a settlement agreement with the appellant. It's going to be a city affirmed with a $300 fine.
Okay, read the number in, please.
Certainly. The case number is HA 2023-0023, or excuse me, 2523.
And the address?
The address is 2020 South Redfield Street.
Okay, and what about matter number 10?
So for matter number 10, there's going to be a joint continuance request. The appellant is requesting time to reach out to an inspector to get a reinspection of the property.
Okay, so we'll note that 2524 20 South Redfield Street, Ishmael Powell will be continued.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Wade, I think we can go back to the top of the list then.
That brings us to case number 3, hearing appeal ending 2489, 2226 South Broski Street.
That's me again with the city, Your Honor, or Chairman Woodson, Thomas Guyutsa.
Okay, that's needed. Hadley. Anyone present? Anyone present representing the interest of 2226 South Krosky Street? 2489, 2226 South Krosky Street. Mr. Wade, would you confirm service, please?
Ms. Hadley listed on her appeal, 1946 South 23rd Street as her mailing address. Notice of this hearing was sent to 1946 South 23rd Street on April 22nd.
Okay, thank you. No one has responded. Service has been confirmed. What is the city's preference?
The city would request a city affirm for failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
3 o'clock PM.
3 p.m. Okay, we will poll the board on HA 2023-002489-2226 South Krosky Street, Shanita Hadley, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Wade, what's next?
Case number 14, hearing appeal ending 2632, 2732 South Darien Street, Guangzhen Q, QIU.
Okay,
This is one of mine as well, Thomas Guyutza, City of Philadelphia.
okay. Mr. Galuzza, did you go in the breakout room with this appellant?
I did, yes. The appellant was requesting a continuance in this matter. She needed some time to provide documents to the department.
Okay.
And the city has no objections to that continuance.
Okay, we'll note it then as continued.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, all right, next case.
Case number 21, hearing appeal ending 2751, 5117 North Marvine Street, Patron Patterson.
Okay,
Good afternoon, members of the board. Thomas Guyutza for the city.
okay. Mr. Galuzza, what do you have to report from your breakout room discussion with Mr. Patterson?
So this matter has been settled as well. We've
Okay.
agreed to a city affirmed with a $150 settlement.
Settlement or fine?
Oh, apologies, with a settlement.
I'm not sure. What's $150 for?
So this was an SVN. The property was fined for, or excuse me, I am using the wrong word, aren't I? Yes, it was a $150 fine. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
All right, thank you. Okay, is the appellant present, Mr. Patron Patterson? Are you present?
Yes, I'm present.
Okay, sir, I just want you to confirm that in fact, this is the agreement you came to with Mr. Lucia.
I confirm.
Okay, thank you. Have a good afternoon. This matter is resolved.
Thank you very much. Have a
Your
good day.
excuse. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Mr. Wade,
Case number 23, hearing appeal ending 2757, 1832 South 55th Street, Monday Solomon Baradin.
okay, who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, board members. This is Thomas Guyutza representing the city.
Okay, Mr. Galuzza, you have a witness for today?
I do, yes. However, this defendant, unfortunately, I was unable to reach prior to this hearing. And
Well,
I was hoping to be able to speak with the defendant prior to
mean the
putting on
appellant.
case today.
You're referencing the appellant, correct?
Yes, I am referencing the appellant. My apologies.
Okay. And I do see a name and an image with Monday. Sir, what is your,
Yes.
identify yourself, sir?
Yeah, my name is Mahadi Baharuddin here.
And you're here for 1832 South 55th Street?
Yes.
Okay, you available to have a conversation with the attorney in a breakout room?
Okay, how is gonna be on? It's gonna be on Zoom or?
Yeah, it's going to be right now,
Okay,
presently.
yes,
Are you
okay,
available
oh.
at this moment to have a conversation in the breakout room?
Yes, yes, I'm
Okay.
available.
Just follow the prompts on your screen and you'll be placed in the breakout room, okay?
Okay, good.
And please make
Thank
sure
you.
your automobile is parked.
You can't hear, we can't discuss anything with you if you're driving. So please park your car.
No, I'm parking. I park.
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
drive.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tom, you can just go back to room 6.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Wade, I guess we're down to 30 now.
Yep.
Okay, let's call that one.
Case 30, hearing appeal ending 2780, 23rd and Oregon Ave. Izell Barnes doing business as Zogies.
Lee Bagelman for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, Mr. Bagelman, anyone present representing the issues of 23rd and Oregon Avenue? Zogies. Anyone present? Okay, Mr. Wade, just confirm service, please.
Miss Barnes listed on her appeal 79 Thompson Street, Salem, New Jersey. For her address And notice was sent to 79 Thompson Street in Sound, New Jersey on April 22nd, 2024.
Thank you very much. Mr. Begelman, what's your preference?
We asked this be marked as a city affirmed for failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. Time we have, Mr. Pincus?
3:05 PM.
3:05 PM. Okay, we'll poll the board on HA 2023-002780, 23rd Oregon Avenue, Ezel Barnes doing business as Zogies, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
Mr. Chair, just for clarity,
Yes,
should Zogies had an attorney?
it is not noted here, but no one is responding, so we're voting on it as of the status of today.
City firm non-appearance.
Mr. Chairman,
thank
this is
you.
Inspector Herbert. I'm the inspector that wrote the case on Zogies.
Okay,
the
it's been disposed of, sir. We're done.
Okay, great. I just wanted to put a correction. It's not a miss. It's Mr. Ozell Barnes.
Okay,
Okay.
Mr. Okay, thank you. We will note that for the record, Mr. Ozell Barnes. Okay.
That wasn't what was written on the appeal.
Okay. Well, before we leave this matter, Mr. Wade, the individual, the recipient of the violation notice, what's the name noted?
EZELL Barnes is the name on the site violation notice, and the name on the appeal is EZELL Barnes.
Okay, and Mr. Begelman, your inspector spoke up. So is there an issue with it? Do we have a standing problem?
No, the city would not have objected to standing. As Mr. Wade pointed out, the violation notice had Mr. Barnes' name on it individually. He was the responsible party and the appellant, so the city had no standing objection there,
Okay.
or any objection to proceeding without an attorney.
Okay, Ezel Barnes is very different than Ozell Barnes. That's why I'm asking.
That might have been just a misspeak. It's with an E, Ezel Barnes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, all right, let's move on then to 3132.
Case number 31. Hearing appeal ending 2787, 1223 West Hilton Street, Teresa Logan. In case number 32, hearing appeal ending 2789, 1223 West Hilton Street, Teresa Logan.
Lee Begelman for the city as well.
Okay, Mr. Begelman, do we have anyone? Teresa Logan, do we have Teresa Logan with us today? No one is responding? Okay, Mr. Wade, if you confirm service, please.
On both appeals, Ms. Logan listed 6403 North 12th Street as her address. Notice this hearing was sent to 6403 North 12th Street in both matters on April 22nd, 2024.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
if I may have an error on my sheet, but I thought in our executive that this was noted as a settlement. Correct me if I'm noted
I
it
don't have
wrong.
that note. I don't have
Thank
that
you.
note. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, the time, Mr. Pincus?
3:09 PM.
3:09 PM. We will note both at 3:09 PM. I will then call for the vote though on each one separately, given that there were two separate violation notices. HA 2023-002787, 1223 West Hilton Street, Teresa Logan, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Thank you. HA 2023-002789, 1223 West Hilton Street, Teresa Logan, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm for non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay,
members of the board.
thank you. You excuse, I believe, unless this next one is yours.
Thank you.
Okay,
Case number 35, hearing appeal ending 2818, 4521 North Bovier Street, Percy, St. George.
Good afternoon, board members. Sean Logue for the city.
Okay, Mr. Logue, have you spoken with or any one representing the interests of 4521 North BLIR Street?
I have. So the appellant is present and dialed in by phone. He was not able to join me in a breakout room. I saw that he was dialed in, but he couldn't unmute himself to have a conversation. So I'm a little concerned that he might not be able to meaningfully participate in today's hearing, but the city is prepared to move forward.
Okay, anyone responding then to 4521 North BLIR Street? Percy St. George.
It is the phone number ending in 3812.
Do you see that number, Mr. Wade?
Yes. I'm giving you a prompt to unmute.
Okay. Okay.
Just while we're waiting for that, I did speak with the appellant by phone.
Okay.
Separately outside of the Zoom interface, and I do believe that the appeal should go forward at this point, but we're going to remain in contact to see if we might come to some resolution. But since we've been here and we're prepared to go forward, that
Okay.
is the city's plan at this point.
Okay. All right. Do you have an inspector with you, a witness today?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like
Hello?
Mr. St. George is.
He's unmuted.
Someone's trying to grab your attention, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mr. St. George. Percy St. George, now he's muted again. Space, Mr. St. George, please unmute yourself. You're muted again. Mr. Percy St. George. Mr. Logue, I think we're going to have to pass this matter and go on to the next case and come back to it. Because we really
I'm getting
need
a message of interference.
Who is speaking?
This is Percy St. George.
Okay, sir, can you turn on your video?
No, I'm not videoed. I'm on phone.
Do you have are you using a smartphone?
No.
Okay. All right, Mr. Logue, are you comfortable proceeding without the video?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Mr. St. George, I need you to raise your right hand and to so that you can be sworn, okay?
Right hand's raised.
Do you swear or affirm that in fact you are Percy St. George?
I do.
And in fact that you will be truthful in all your statements before this board. So help you God.
I so help me God.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Okay, Mr. St. George, because you do not have video, you're going to need to pay close attention to the conversation so that we aren't speaking over one another. Understood?
Yes.
And you'll respond when someone asks you a question. And if you ask a question, wait till the person responds before you say anything else. Okay?
Yes.
And we will do everything we can to describe any documents that we put on the screen since you can't view them.
Okay.
Now, you comfortable proceeding that way because you won't be able to see the evidence that the city has prepared to put on.
I'm comfortable, yes.
Okay. Alrighty, Mr. Loeb, do you have who's your witness?
Yes, the city would like to call Inspector Anthony Gonzalez.
Okay, Anthony Gonzalez. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God? Mr. Gonzalez, we didn't hear your response.
Yes.
Okay, you'll need to get closer to your microphone so we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's easy. All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Logue, please proceed.
Thank you, Chairman Woodson. Mr. Gonzalez, can you please introduce yourself and state your title for the record?
Yes, I'm Inspector Gonzalez from Illinois Code Enforcement, located in the South District.
And how long have you been with LNI?
About 5 years.
What are your responsibilities as an inspector?
As an inspector, we inspect properties for fire code violations and property maintenance violations, and also we do businesses as well.
And are you familiar with the property at 4521 North Bouvier Street?
Yes.
How are you familiar with it?
I did a vacant inspection on the property. The property was vacant at the time of inspection with no active vacant structure license.
Gotcha. At this time, with the board's permission, I'd like to share my screen.
Okay, and Mr. Logue, in this instance, given that the appellant does not have access visually, would you mind describing the documents in a bit more detail?
Sure, I'll ask Inspector Gonzalez to describe them.
Thank you.
Inspector Gonzalez, I'd like to call your attention to what's been marked as City's Exhibit A. Can you describe what this exhibit is?
So
zoom out
Exhibit
or-
A, yeah, so it's a site violation notice that gets sent to the owner of the property, telling them what's the violations on this property.
And what is the violation that's cited here?
No vacant structure license for a vacant property.
And what indications were there at the property? And we can get into this with the next exhibit too, that made you issue this notice of violation.
So everything is boarded up. There's no entrance to the property. As you see, the windows on the first floor and door are also boarded up.
All right, and I did highlight a few sections of the site violation notice. Can you just read the date of the notice?
Yes, it was May 11th, 2023.
And can you explain what a site violation notice is and how that differs from an initial notice of violation?
So a site notice of violation is basically that they received the fine right at the site of the violation. So instead of a notice of violation, where they would have 35 days, this site violation, they get fined that same exact day.
I gotcha. So is it fair to say that it works kind of like a speeding ticket? Where
Yes.
There's no warning? Understood. I'm turning now to what's been marked City's Exhibit B. Is this the property at 4521 North Bouvier Street?
Yes.
And if you could reiterate for the board, what indications there are here that the property is vacant?
So as you see on the first floor, the windows are boarded up as well as far as the basement windows as well. The entrance door is also boarded up, so there's no access to come in and out the property as well. And also the second floor windows are boarded up as well.
And what's the date of those photos? My apologies.
My next question.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So it's May 11th, 2023. It was taken at around 9:40 a.m.
Okay. And did you take this photo yourself, Inspector Gonzalez?
Yes.
I'm turning now to what's been marked City's Exhibit C. What is this document here? Excuse me.
So it's from our Atlas system, showing the property back in October 3rd, 2023.
Okay. And would you say the property appears to be in substantially the same condition as the photo you took?
Yes.
And again, there's no vacant property license on file for this property?
No.
Okay. And then finally, I want to call your attention to what's been marked City's Exhibit D. Can you describe what this exhibit is?
It's an assessment of the property, with the owner's information, name, the value of the property, the sell date, and the sell price. I mean, the address value and the sell price.
And is the mailing address the same address that you inspected?
Yes.
And then finally, I'd like to call your attention to
City's Exhibit E. I'm not sure that you would have any familiarity with this, but just for the record and for appellant's benefit, this is the appeal document that he submitted to the board. Inspector Gonzalez, if you could just read, if it's legible, the reason for appeal. There's a highlight next to it.
Yes.
Paragraph 6.
He stated that I never received my violation of notice. I didn't even know I had to have a vacant structure license.
Gotcha. And just to go back to what you said earlier about the site violation notice, this is a type of violation where you wouldn't receive advance notice, correct?
No, you will get fined right on the spot of the day of the violation.
Okay. I have no further questions for Inspector Gonzalez.
Okay, Mr. St. George, do you have any questions of the inspector based on his testimony?
Well, from what he just explained, I didn't get a notice, like I said. And from what he's saying, if the notice is not coming out to me, so I can't question that. I didn't get a notice. That's all I can say.
Okay, well, I was asking, do you have any questions of him based on his testimony?
No, I've been through that
Okay.
before.
All right, thank you. Any additional witnesses, Mr. Logue?
No, that's it, Chairman Woodson.
Okay, thank you. Mr. St. George, you want to share with us any information that would be helpful to us regarding this matter?
Well, I've been trying to get a permit for that vacant property for now since 2017, and they keep telling me I can't get it due to delinquent taxes. That's why I haven't gotten a permit for the properties.
Okay, is the property vacant?
The property is vacant, still vacant.
Okay, and why haven't you applied for a vacant property license?
I have applied. I can't get it due to delinquent taxes.
Oh, okay. So you've applied for a vacant property license that until you resolve the outstanding taxes, it won't be issued?
I couldn't even apply. When I went to apply, she told me I couldn't apply because I had delinquent taxes.
What are you doing about the
couldn't even
delinquent taxes?
apply.
What are you doing about the delinquent taxes?
My delinquent taxes are in collections.
Oh, so you don't have a plan or anything to pay them off?
Well, I'm on a fixed income. I pay it when I can.
Okay.
I intend to pay them off, yes.
Okay. Anything else, sir, you want to add that would be helpful?
That's the best I can do.
Okay.
I
All right,
can't do
thank you.
anything until the taxes are cleared, so I have to wait until I can clear the taxes.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else have anything? Any questions? Okay, if not, we will then poll the board and vote regarding HA 2023-002818 4521 North Bouvier Street, Percy St. George, City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. St. George, the vote is city affirmed, which means you lost your appeal. You may appeal our decision. If you need information about how to do that, call the number on the the decision letter that you will receive in the mail, and they will give you information that may be helpful to you. Thank you very much, sir, for your participation today. Have a good afternoon.
Same to you. Thank you very much.
Mr. St. George,
So
I'll
long.
call you tomorrow to follow up. Thank you.
Do that, please. Thank you.
Okay. Alrighty, the witnesses
right.
excused. Okay, Mr. Wade, where do we go next? Did we lose Mr. Wade? Oh, there he is.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Case number 45, hearing
Okay.
appeal ending 2877, 1636 South Sixth Street, June Abdullah.
Okay, who's the city's representative?
Good afternoon, members of the board. This is Thomas Guyutso for the city.
Okay, Mr. Lutza. Do you have a witness, sir?
Well, before we get to that, unfortunately, I was unable to reach out to this or reach this appellant prior to the hearing, and I was wondering if we could be placed into a breakout room to potentially resolve the matter.
Okay, we have, is the person present?
She is, yes. I see her on my screen.
Ms. Abdullah?
June Abdullah.
Okay, let's do this. We have, this is, Mr. Wade, how many more cases we have after this?
We have to recall case number 23. They were in a breakout room. I don't know if they're out. Let me see.
Oh, yes, that case number 23 was me as well, and we actually reached a settlement on that one.
Okay,
Or
let's
a,
do this.
arrangement, rather.
Okay, before we, well, the issue is this, Mr. Goodness, is there any, can we hear it and resolve it, or do you need, because this is the last matter?
I understand. So,
How much time will you need?
To discuss with Ms. Abdullah?
Yes.
Not very long at all, probably 2 or 3 minutes. There was just
Okay.
a
Well, let's do
there-
this. Let's
Mhm.
do this. We will allow you to have a breakout with Ms. Abdullah, but before you do that, I'd like you to recall the previous matter and put that resolution on the
Certainly.
record. Okay,
Happy
Mr.
to, sir.
Wade, do you know what that number was? Which
Yes,
case was that?
and there was one other matter where we called a city affirmed and the person is on the call. They're in a breakout room with their attorney as well. So that would be some just clean up at the end.
Okay, so let's do this.
Call case 23.
Yes.
Case number 23, hearing appealing 2757 1832 South 55th Street, Mundy, Solomon, Vardan.
Okay.
Thomas Guyutsa representing the city.
Yes, sir. What is the outcome of the conference?
So the city has come to an agreement for a city affirm with a $200 fine.
$200 fine. Is the appellant still with us?
I believe he is, but let me double check. I no longer see his name on the call.
Okay, so we'll note for the record that the city affirmed $200 fine. That's the settlement. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And so you may go in the breakout room with Miss Abdullah. In the meantime,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Wade, we need to recall one additional matter.
Yeah, let me see. Well, they are also in the breakout room. I'll go in there and see.
Okay. If they aren't ready yet, we can go off the record for 5 minutes and come back.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Was there a decision made in case number 65?
65? Let me check. That's a duplicate. 65 is the same as 49.
Okay, thank you.
I would ask, Mr. Chairman, what was the determination in case number 60?
60?
Yes.
That one is a joint request for continuance.
Thank you.
Mr. Wade, should we go off the record for 5 minutes to give everybody an opportunity to wrap things up?
Yes, 5 minutes and then.
Miss Abdullah.
Why don't you have some Sophia?
Hello?
Yes, I'm going to put you in a breakout room.
Okay.
Why don't you have?
Join.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. First matter is case number 45. Hearing appeal ending 2877 1636 South 6th Street, June Abdullah.
Okay. Mr. Gulitza.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We have Miss June Abdullah. Mr. Abdullah, do we need to proceed with the hearing, Mr. Gulitza, or
We do not today, no. We are having a joint continuance request in this matter. Ms. Abdullah would like to present a affidavit of non-rental, and the city has no objection to allowing her the time to present said affidavit.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Abdullah, you concur with that? You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we will continue this matter to another date. Have a good afternoon. You excuse.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay.
That is my final business before the board today. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. You excuse.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Wade, what is our next two matters?
We'd just like to recall matters 31 and 32. Ms. Logan was on an unidentified device and was unable to speak up when called.
Oh, so we need to formally rescind our decision, the city affirmed non-appearance decision. Is that the I think where we are?
Yes.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Lee Bagelman for the city.
Okay, Mr. Bagelman, are you prepared to proceed, given that we've already disposed of this matter?
I am prepared. I prefer, I tried speaking to Ms. Logan in a breakout room. She cannot figure out how to unmute her device, so I was not able to speak with her. I'd rather have that conversation before going back on the record with a full hearing. I don't know if she's able to do so today.
Okay, let's see here. Ms. Logan, are you able to, I see your image, ma'am. Are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
Yes, I got it working. Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Wade, before we proceed, Mr. Wade, what do we have after this?
This is the final matter.
Okay. Given that, okay, let me see here. Mr. McSherry. I just procedurally, I assume we can just, for the record, indicate that we're vacating the previous decision.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and then authorize Mr. Bagelman and Ms. Logan to have a conversation before we have a hearing, I would assume.
That is permissible, yes.
Okay, Mr. Bagelman, do you need to, you probably have a witness that you don't have anymore?
It looks like Supervisor Mark Green is still on the call. I don't know if he's at his desk or if he is available. It looks like he's on the call, but I don't know if he has walked away since it was last called. So you know, I'll defer to whatever the board thinks.
Okay, let's do this. Yeah, because this is, if everybody isn't ready, then we should just continue it. That's what I'm asking. So let's do this. Regarding HA-2023-002787 1223 West Hilton Street, Teresa Logan. The previous decision during this hearing of city affirmed non-appearance has been vacated. Is precipitated by Ms. Logan's appearance today, and in fact being confirmed by Mr. Bagelman, Assistant City Solicitor, that in fact she was having technical difficulties, but was in fact present. And so we will vacate that decision and rehear the case at this point. Ms. Logan, are you prepared to go forward?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Bagelman, let's swear everybody in and move forward and hear this matter then.
I don't know if my inspector is, I thought we were continuing the matter. I don't know if my inspector is on the call any longer.
Oh, can you confirm that? Let's see if he's here.
He's listed on the call. He's listed. I just don't know if he's on his computer any longer.
But I'm asking you, can you confirm that? Can you connect with him?
I'm trying to. I'd also, like I said before, I'd really like to have that conversation in the breakout room before we proceeded. If the board would rather continue to have that conversation.
Let me do this. Let's continue the matter. Allow the two of you to talk, and maybe that will keep it. You may not have to come back. But so we will change the record. We'll note the record for 1223 West Hilton Street as continued.
Mr. Chair, we're talking about both cases, correct?
Yes. It will be number 31 and 32. I assume, Mr. Bagelman, you want both to be continued?
Yes.
Okay, so we will continue both those matters. And of course, the city affirmed non-appearance is also stricken for number 32, which is HA 2023-002789, 1223 West Hilton Street, Teresa Logan. Both those matters are now noted as continued.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Logan, have a good afternoon. You will get a new hearing date, but why don't you do this before you leave? Mr. Bagelman, are you available to have a conversation with her now?
Yes.
The two of you should go in the breakout room. In the meantime, the board will dispense with its business, and you may or may not have to come back at a later date.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Wade, what do we have next?
That's all.
That's all? Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. It's been an interesting day, and thank you for your cooperation and your participation. Okay, Ms. Logan, you should be getting a prompt for a breakout room.
I'm waiting for it. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Room 4.
Okay, that concludes our matters of today. I noticed that a number of individuals who's still on. I'm not sure if everyone's matter has been addressed. If there's someone still on and your matter has not been addressed, use the raise hand sign and we will respond to you.
I believe everyone appears to be employees.
Okay.
Hello?
All right.
Hello?
Okay, who's speaking, please?
Inspector Green.
Supervisor Green.
Yes.
I was scheduled to leave 3:30. My apologies if I was being called. I was actually on my way home, but I can appear.
No, that's okay. We're done for today.
Okay. no
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, before you leave,
Yes.
just to confirm, we're off the record?
Yes.